And we're back, everyone, with the Tangent Podcast, and we're got the Drunken News Game Show.
Game show.
Wow, game show.
There's going to be little scores right around here.
Steve Maestro.
Someone's got a rant this week.
Oh, shit.
Anthony, ready?
Go.
Yeah.
Good one. Brian?
No retorts to that one.
No retorts.
He can't. It's a rant. He can't do it. No retort. I respect, he's sticking to the rules, integrity. So, Brian, you got 30 seconds, man.
Yeah, I'm just waiting on Steve to
You
give
ready?
us. Yeah, as ready as I'll ever be.
Ready, set, go.
So it's not really a rant. It's more of just a statement. I've noticed in the gaming industry that there are a lot of closings happening with AAA publishers and the middle of the pack shit. So I'm thinking that a lot of indie games are going to be coming up and be the bigger thing. And there's going to be a lot of shovelware. Like you saw on the Sega Genesis, Super NES, and the NES itself. I think you're going to see a renaissance of just a bunch of really obscure games that no one really knows about.
Time.
You know what, Brian? I thought that was well thought. I can't comment on it.
Hey, I'll allow it. I appreciate
you can't.
it.
Nah, I'm just being a dick anyways. There's going to be sass, so don't even worry about it.
What else is new?
What else is new,
I'm
right, Steve?
surprised.
Some things never change.
Yeah, you know what else is new? The news.
Go for it.
So
Oh,
we got
shit.
all 3 Dark Souls games have been turned into movies by a YouTube fan channel.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, now.
So,
Is that a question?
Is there-
I don't know. He said, "Oh shit!" I thought something was
well,
going
no,
down.
I just thought
Because at first I was
You
expecting
said-
you to be like,
you know what
some
else is
AAA
new?
movie.
The news, and I was
was
like,
nice.
yeah, that was a nice little pa-ting.
I appreciate that. That's a point.
Oh,
All right.
flattery. Purest form of
I
point
meant
getting.
the box.
box.
The box gets a point?
We got 3 Dark Souls games have been turned into movies by a YouTube fan channel. This comes from PC Gamer. Not really much
Have you
more
heard
to
of that,
say.
Scary?
Some guy on
Let's talk
YouTube.
to you.
Yeah.
Have you
No,
seen
I
it?
mean, I haven't watched it yet, but like,
excited?
I'm sure it's fucking sick.
Yeah.
Is it so? It's like a movie that they take. Are there cutscenes in Dark Souls?
Yeah, so there's some cutscenes like for bosses and stuff
But
like that. But
usually
it said that
The general lore is like no one knows what the fuck's going on. Right?
Yeah, but they use some of the lore, some of like the cutscenes. They used actually because there's co-op mode in Dark Souls where you can summon people in. So they said that they manipulated the camera angles through co-op mode to make certain things more cinematic.
Yeah,
So I'm sure it's
really cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so they made like each game is like an hour and a half.
Oh wow.
Movie.
Okay.
Yeah, so it says the channel's videos have no narration, relying instead on in-game dialogue, camera hacks, and formal editing techniques to frame the Dark Souls games as movies.
That could be fucking sweet.
Yeah, that could be interesting.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So there's 3 of them. They're about, would you say half an hour? Yeah, it seems what they are.
Like
Half.
maybe a little bit longer than that.
Yeah, very British. Brian knows what's up.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the half hour. Like who doesn't have a half hours?
Move on.
That was a nice drop. Just look at that.
Smooth.
Land perfect.
Speedrunner beats Prey in less than 20 minutes. Comes from Game Informer.
What?
I didn't get out of the first hallway in
Like a
20 minutes.
4-second story, but
That's it.
And he beat the game again.
the snazzy glue cannon.
The snazzy.
That's what they wrote. 20 minutes. Pretty much all he wrote. Oh, no, it's not glue cannon. I don't know what the fuck that is. You can watch all of Drog Q's frankly incredible run below.
So that's the user, but he probably uses the glue cannon.
Yeah.
Is that something in the
Climbs
game?
around.
Yeah, so
Yeah, okay.
They talked
shoots,
about it, if you
Yeah, it
remember.
shoots like a little glue thing that freezes areas. So it makes a little cube that you can jump on and manipulate. So if you just shoot the cubes up along the wall,
And you
it
know
becomes a
exactly where to
staircase.
go.
Yeah, you know where to go. I'm sure it's relatively simple.
20 minutes is fast.
That's
I don't know
fucking-
how long
how the hell does it-
game is,
like,
but
or what is it that you actually physically need to keep moving? Like, does he go over here and just pick up like this one item that he needed to like,
Or
like
maybe-
skip right to cutscenes that are just like super
I'm sure
late
he
on?
does something to get potentially outside of the map and then manipulate it so that way he can get to the final boss or something like that.
And he
Right.
just knows how to take care of the boss and just done.
Call it a day.
Yeah, pretty cool though.
Yeah, 20 minutes.
20 minutes. That's very fucking fast.
I'm gonna have to give this a
Regardless,
Google.
Yeah,
Check it out. Oh.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch it once I complete the game. I
Yeah,
just don't want to
because
see
you don't
what's
want
at
to
the
see.
end,
Yeah, you don't want to see what happens.
'cause that might
Spoiler
sway me
alert,
to
dude.
even keep playing or
Yeah,
no.
or yeah.
So
Yeah, I like that. Point for everybody.
Yay, points.
So we got Anuma explains why Breath of the Wild is open air and aims to provide surprises with the next Zelda. So this is an interview
Oh God,
with
we already got the
Anuma.
next Zelda hype coming.
In the June issue of Nakai Trendy about Breath of the Wild.
With this one.
And so he just says stuff like, on The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild becoming open air, he says, when I first created a Zelda that's played with 3D and Ocarina of Time, what we put our attention on is to cope with how we were still not familiar with 3D yet. We show routes so that you could progress forward without getting lost in even broad worlds. At that time, I thought that was the right thing. However, as we stacked on the series, not getting lost would produce feelings of blockages like cannot do anything but that or cannot run away. So more and more people felt dissatisfied with that. Open air are words that really liberate us from those feelings of blockages. You can freely explore a vast connected seamless world connected seamlessly, and you can progress to find out your own answer. So I think if there were 100 people experiencing it, there will be 100 ways to progress. Then he goes on to say, unless you want, go ahead.
So that's a good theory.
Yeah. On overseas reaction thoughts of the series in the future, he goes on to say, first of all, I think the point that this is a Zelda is big. It's a series that's been continuing for a long time. If I am to put it in words, that then perhaps everyone would have thought it's not that simple to do a reform. Furthermore, that reform causes surprise to all our users who have played Zelda until now, since it exceeds their imaginations by a bit. And I think that perhaps that's why they, including the media, have welcomed it with the zeal. It's not easy to be able to answer expectations of all our users, but through this game, I recognize again that the significance of continuing to create the series is right there. So in the future, I'd like to repeat doing great fusses and provide surprises that exceed everyone's expectations. That's pretty much all he said.
He said a lot. It's quite a mouthful.
Well, it's translated from Japanese, so there's some quirks.
I bet.
So I really liked how he was saying, like, you know, when we first transitioned from 2D to 3D, it was like we need to make sure that you have certain routes that you can take, and it kind of pushes you through, even though you have this broad open area. And then the further along you got, you kind of dial back on that. And he said, like, yes, that was the correct like thing at that time, but now it's no longer that thing. Let's remove that. And I think that that was a really smart thing to do. And I hope that they continue with that. And then maybe with like if they're going to continue to do like 3DS stuff, any sort of like not in Switch shit, to kind of maybe do the more traditional Zeldas on that, and then your more open world, more well received stuff.
That's an interesting thought.
Your Nintendo Switch or
more Zelda games. It'd be great.
Not for Gary.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's just great because I'm not even gonna say it. No sass for me tonight on it. It's just whatever.
I think what's interesting is the idea of like they did this big transition with Ocarina of Time, and then they didn't necessarily know how to make the other Majora's Mask is different, like story-wise, but they didn't know. It seemed like they wanted to do another big thing instead of maybe perfecting the idea of that type of 3D game.
Yeah.
The way he's kind of talking about it, he's like, oh, we couldn't find, how to deal with these,
Not knowing.
Well, it's kind of like, it's one of those things where the first Zelda was the first Zelda game. And
right,
that's
that's
what it was.
that's what
and
I'm saying. Like
the Super NES, Link to the Past, kind of like perfected what the what Legend of Zelda was, and then you made the transition into Ocarina of Time. But since then, there hasn't really been a huge revelation in the franchise until they kind of took more Western influences and went with a more open world kind of freedom type of thing with Breath of the Wild.
That's
so
what
it
you have
has
to
been a
do
little
to stay alive, and it's
yeah.
good that they actually decided to do it, because we would just be probably making fun of
if this
Zelda.
was another Skyward Sword, then
We'd be making fun of it probably.
yeah.
well, no one would give a fuck. I mean,
Exactly.
like I wouldn't. I mean, Skyward
I
Sword
don't
is
give a
not
fuck.
right. Well, you already
doesn't
don't,
care.
but
That's because you played this game 2 years ago in The Witcher. That's what you did.
Pretty true.
It's a fucking sweet game.
so yeah, everybody gets a point on that one.
I like that.
Even Anthony?
Keep it up.
Anthony's crushing it with the points right now, so don't even
he's
worry
gonna
about
win.
New Assassin's Creed games screenshot and name reportedly leaked. So this comes from GameSpot, and So the name was first reported by WWG and has been since been corroborated by Eurogamer. They also indicate that it's a prequel that will launch on PS4, Xbox One, and PC later this year. So there's also been an image to be a first look at Origins, and it's been published on Reddit. The image is legitimate, according to Eurogamer. And
Okay.
Boats.
So is it called?
not really
It's
saying
called
much.
Origins. So Assassin's Creed Origins.
they just say at Origins, so they don't really.
Oh, okay.
Maybe
You
it's
know.
unnamed.
Yeah.
Or they're just saying since it's a prequel,
Yeah.
they might just be calling it Origins. They don't really say.
Does it have? Well, yeah. We'll see.
Well,
I didn't remember the picture very well.
So-
The image,
boat.
it looks like the guy. He looks like he's almost in a dock, like a bay where there's a bunch of docked smaller boats, not necessarily like ships, but
Like
you know,
he's standing on the edge of the water.
yeah,
Yeah,
little.
I'm already out.
Yeah, Gary's not a big fan of.
Well, it said early last year, Kotaku reported that the new game, fucking great editing,
Yeah. The worst.
would take place in Egypt and was set for fall 2017 under the name Assassin's Creed Empire.
Yep, I
And
remember
then-
that.
But they got in parentheses a name that has seemingly since been changed. So
It's supposed to take in ancient Egypt, right? Take place during that time period, or at least that's
ideas.
what the rumors were last year. So I don't know. I think I saw the screenshot and I'm like, all right, cool. Gary, you're not so
out.
hot on it.
No, the boat stuff in Assassin's Creed 3, I mean, AC3 was the worst.
Yeah, it's
It was the
worst.
worst.
Why
It's-
do you think that? Did you read something else somewhere or see something that? Why from the photo that I saw, I didn't. Well, I wasn't thinking boats.
It
Just
just
from seeing the photo. I mean, I could.
Saw a photo of a boat.
Well, yeah, but like Brian said, he could be standing in the bay of anywhere. Like they don't show you anything.
he's not
else
on
like
a boat.
he's not like controlling the boat with
He's like
it's-
standing there.
Yeah, he's like almost jumping from small boat to small boat, like little dinghies and skiffers.
So I didn't get. It seemed like he was still in a big city to me. That
Yeah.
he was just on the.
I'm sure there's a
outskirts of it.
city, but I'm sure there's now boating in those
'Cause
missions.
there was
I
a
could
bunch-
understand that. And then isn't every Assassin's Creed game a prequel? Like they're going
Yeah,
back in time,
technically.
so like
Everyone's a prequel or something.
it's not a big deal to me.
But there was a bunch
I'm
of like
I'm out. The
in-
movie, everything. Like I'm out. Assassin's Creed, you're done.
in London.
You're
they
done.
Yeah.
they had a bunch of like a huge river that flowed through the entire map. So you were jumping from boat to boat to boat.
So,
to boat.
which was actually
if you
one of the
cross that
fun.
path.
Well, you're in the Thames River.
yeah.
That's actually one of the most interesting parts of that game because it is like a section that you have to
You have to
do
liberate.
liberate. Thank you, and then you have to like take out like a little mini boss, the leader in that area. So I thought that was at least well done. So
I wasn't getting like that we were gonna be back like Black Flag.
yeah,
I wasn't
didn't-
getting that.
I wasn't getting.
I'm not
that
saying
either.
that either, but I'm just saying
Coming in hot and heavy, though.
More boats. all
No,
that
he's
shit.
just saying he's done with Assassin's Creed.
Well, I mean, it's an annual game, and I did like Syndicate. I never finished it. I don't
Yeah.
believe I
I
liberated
mean, what
everything.
games do you actually finish?
A lot of them, actually, you'd be
Sure.
surprised. But it wasn't really. I thought the gameplay was pretty good, but it wasn't like driving me like it was. Like Gary said, the first three.
Well, I
everything
think
after
like
that, you just lose
Assassin's
interest.
Creed 2 is like one of my favorite games, and
I love
like,
zipping around London, but
the Assassin's Creed franchise, like in the beginning, was like awesome. I was
Yeah, it was
obsessed
crazy.
with them. Everybody loved them, and then the more they did, it's just like games nowadays. There's
Cash
so
grab.
many other games that play like Assassin's Creed. Like I would rather be playing Shadow of Mordor, the new one, like the
Shadow of War.
Shadow of War,
Which
which
I will
is very
play.
similar
Mhm.
in style of gameplay, and I would have more fun with a game like that than I will Assassin's Creed.
Oh, absolutely.
You know,
well, we'll see what the setting and everything is. But I mean, they're just gonna have to keep like I think they were on the right track with Syndicate, but now I mean, every time the environment changes, it could suck. You know what I mean? Like everything seems good on paper. Everything with Assassin's Creed
so the
looks
game
good
releases
on paper.
and
Yeah.
it's just like
Well,
eyeballs and
Because the idea of it is perfect for every single fucking setting, no matter what you say.
Like I was
So,
really
it
excited
always
about
looks
Unity,
good.
which was the French Revolution one. I was like, I love the French Revolution time
But if
period.
the gameplay
and then
worked on it,
the
it would have been
yeah,
fun.
and everything was a steaming pile of dog shit.
it was the first
But, like,
co-op.
Yeah, I was like, all right, cool. Like that would be kind of cool to do. Like
And they
you know,
fucked it up.
and they
Yeah.
fucked that up. And
And my thing is more of like the gameplay. Like what's the one where you're the Native American? Connor.
3.
So, excuse me. That one, like they had the spacing of all the levels wrong and everything was short. And my gripe was you had to run long distances between buildings and stuff, and they changed it. Later on Syndicate, you get the zip line.
Gripe with Assassin's Creed 3 was that game was fucking trash.
Yeah, so
like the entire game, there was boats, there was long distances. That game was trash.
Yeah, that was my main
Fuck
gripe.
Assassin's Creed. Next. I'm stopping this.
All right, point for
He's
Justin.
over it. Thank you.
EA goes from cautious to bullish on Nintendo Switch support. So I'm just gonna really read the quote. It's from Ars Technica, from the CEO Andrew Wilson. He says, we feel really good about it. We have a tremendous relationship with Nintendo and have done for many, many years, and are excited by the fact that they have come out very strong and are bringing in a whole new player base into the ecosystem. We continue to be bullish on it and are looking at other titles that we might want to bring to the Switch. So anything?
Who is this?
The CEO
Of
EA.
EA.
I would say, I don't really want your games on the fucking console.
Steve,
Well-
I wouldn't be nitpicking AAA third-party developers coming to the Switch.
Triple A EA games, yeah.
Some of them are good. Some of them are good, man.
I'm just
Name
saying,
name
like, when
two.
I'm gonna need
Name-
Google. to
name
help me
two.
out. 'Cause
Name
the
two.
one- I will get back to you on that.
Okay, so
There's definitely I
They
cannot
showed off-
imagine there's no EA games that
they
that
showed
we like.
they showed off FIFA during their. They like brought out fucking whoever that
I
guy
think
was.
sports are smart for any handheld.
Yeah.
But it was like they were like, "Oh, FIFA is coming to Nintendo Switch," and it was like everyone was like, "Who the fuck cares?"
If the Vita had an NBA game, I would 1,000,000% have bought in the Vita right away.
fair enough, but
And
like,
then all the extra
FIFA's
shit,
like the
the biggest sports game on the
Yeah.
planet.
but let me ask you,
Sports
though,
are huge on handheld.
Yeah.
It's great.
but you don't have online play.
So what? You can get on. You can get
Why don't you have
campaign. I
online
never
play?
play
on
online.
the Switch.
Yeah, like the whole point of like the Switch is a hybrid. You're taking it on the go. You don't have the ability to play online unless you have free Wi-Fi.
I'm
in which-
interested that you guys are like now. Like,
I'm not saying that they shouldn't bring any of their games. I'm saying like what they should be doing is like more single player based stuff. But knowing EA, they're going to bring their multiplayer games.
Well,
which
I don't think.
no,
that
I don't
they
think
should
it
do.
would
I
be
think we're
able
getting
to-
sports games. I think that's
I think
what
it's
you're getting.
sports
You're
games.
getting sports
You're
games.
Which
not
are
getting
multiplayer
Battlefront.
games.
You're not getting it.
Yeah, but the thing is, I've never played online, and I play.
I mean, think of like the
multitude
Be a
sports
Pro.
But you are for like the sports.
It's not true.
Every
What you're about
guy
to say.
that I know who plays competitive still has a Be a Pro or
Yeah.
still has a season.
Well, yeah,
or still
of
has a
course.
list.
That's because that's what they're playing.
And it's
a
but
perfect
they're
handheld
also
So
game.
you're on the
playing-
train, you're
Save
playing your
and
Be a
quit.
Pro, you
Save
get
and quit.
home, then you're playing online. But it's
Save
gonna
and
be
quit
sport
is huge in
sport
sports
games,
games.
which is good for the system because a ton
I
of
mean,
people like those games.
Any
It's not
game
gonna
is
be
good for the system.
like
for the most
Battlefront
part.
2 is not
Not
coming
coming.
to the Switch. That game,
Can't.
it's not going to be feasible. It's a multiplayer only game.
But it
looks
has
way
a
too
single
good.
player campaign. Why can't you, on the train play the single player
Because
campaign?
the game graphically,
then
the
go-
system's not going to be able to run it.
Probably not. But what if it gets downplayed like the 360 and the PS3 version?
If you could play the single player, I don't think they have enough to sell that to somebody. But then, yeah, you could. It wouldn't be that bad. I mean, that plane mission
not
was
gonna
fun.
come.
But
not
he's
gonna
right.
happen.
Those games are coming. I'm thinking you're getting the sports games. And the sports games, that's for me, that's huge because that's sports games are great pick up and put down. They're so good, and that's what a handheld is key for. And then if you get a bunch of, then you also get to have this Mario and that, and then bang, you get your side game. You play a couple games of basketball, and you go back to Zelda.
And then third-party games are selling well on the Switch, and you might get more.
Also
Right?
true.
People can be
So
like, hey, let's
we
get in on
shouldn't
that
be-
Switch action.
We shouldn't be pushing
get
these
on that
little
Switch
Nintendo
action.
fanboys over here. I don't want Euro games.
No,
I don't want
it's
your
not
shitty
that.
games. Well,
I'm
I
thinking-
don't want
Wow.
Euro
It
games.
sucks
I want
ass.
more Zelda.
You're
More
missing,
Zelda games.
You're
more
missing
Zelda.
the point.
I'll take
So
more Zelda games.
if you're
No,
getting
I'm not
a
coming at you. I'm coming
no,
at this
I know,
motherfucker.
but what I'm
Well,
saying
you just
is
lost a point for
you're-
that, so I wouldn't really worry about
take
it.
him.
you're
I don't give a shit.
you're all missing what I'm saying is that like you're gonna get a dumbed down version of those games that you want, and it's not gonna be the game that you want, and it's gonna suck, and it's ultimately going to hurt it.
The only thing that I'm still gonna advocate to you here is that the graphically for the NBA it won't be as good. But
No,
the good
exactly.
thing is that the gameplay will be fine, and it doesn't need that many buttons. It has all the buttons I need, and it's not too complicated. Just graphically is what those games push. They do. That's like their thing. They look beautiful, but I would still play NBA even if it kind of looked shitty because it's still basketball. I'd play NBA Jam. It doesn't look that great. It's still an awesome game.
Very
I'm
Sports are
not
huge.
saying
They're huge. Bring 'em in.
I think it's going to be more than just
EA, bring them in. Yeah, I'm
it's
sure
just
they'll give you some of
downgrade
those.
in graphics. It's going to be a whole myriad of issues when it comes to those type of games. That's what
I mean, they have
saying.
issues in on themselves because it is EA. Like, don't get me wrong, I still have problems with the game running on my Xbox, but I would love a basketball game. That's all I'm saying. I think some
And
people
that's
out there-
okay, and I'm sure people will. I'm just saying that.
So if NBA, so let me ask you this, Justin: if NBA comes out on the Switch this year, are you buying a Switch? 'Cause you just said you were gonna buy a Vita right away.
Mhm.
So if they announce NBA is coming out this year, are you buying your Switch?
It could be potentially.
He
So
wants Mario Odyssey.
I
So-
do want Mario Odyssey as
So
well.
there you go. See, you just got another one to buy a Switch. There it is.
I don't fucking gain anything from
Do
it.
you sell
Yeah.
Switches?
Yeah, it's a good conversation. Everybody gets a point,
Nice.
and then Justin gets an extra point.
yeah, guy. Let's go. I'm making good fucking
Last
points out
story.
Probably that was like
Sources.
yeah, okay face.
There we
Sources.
go. BioWare Montreal scaled down Mass Effect, put on ice for now. So when this comes from Kotaku, in the wake of BioWare's polarizing Mass Effect Andromeda, fans have wondered where the lauded sci-fi series will go next. The answer, according to people familiar with the studio, is nowhere.
Yeah. Seemed it to me.
At least for the time being, BioWare has put Mass Effect on hiatus and turned Andromeda's developer, BioWare Montreal, into a support studio, according to 4 sources close to the company.
Interesting. Sweet.
Pretty
No,
much.
not sweet.
Well, I mean, they make other good games, so they're working on.
Yeah,
shit.
but Mass Effect.
Mass Effect is their biggest fucking title. And
Well,
they
it's
just
already out. It's
yeah,
over now.
I know, and now they're putting the entire
they're trying to-
trilogy that they were going to to make on hiatus because the game
I mean, I
did
wasn't
poorly.
impressed with this game.
Yeah, but don't you like the other set, the Mass Effect?
I do, but I mean, honestly, I can like them, and if they're gonna make like another Dragon Age, I'd be down for that.
Yeah, but the problem is that they're not going to trust them to make another good game because they fucked up Mass Effect. They're gonna fuck up Dragon Age and then eventually go out
Boom.
of business.
Mass Effect. Good EA game.
I completely forgot
Right?
it
We
was
knew
even
we
an EA
liked some
game.
of them, dude. Fucking
Mass
Dragon
Effect
Age,
2.
Dragon Age Inquisition's
Dragon
my
Age
shit.
Inquisition.
Yeah.
Give me a point, Steve.
Yeah.
1 point.
Give
I
him
just
those
want
goddamn
one point
points
for that.
back.
He did give us 2 good EA games.
But you
What,
made
Mass Effect?
Mass Effect and Dragon Age.
Well, Andromeda sucks, so that can't count.
I'm on the yellow with
See,
Andromeda.
this is
I'm on the
collusion and bullshit.
I'll give you the fucking point.
Thank you,
you big
Steve.
baby.
Thank you.
You big
Piece
baby.
of shit.
But I don't know. I just think ultimately
it
this
back.
is bad because you're looking at like a major studio that just released a major game and it's not
Star
even
Wars
2
Battlefront. Good game.
months 2 months
I don't
later
think
and
anybody said that.
it's being, I guess they're not being shut down, but the games are being put on hiatus and now they're
Well,
a
what if they
support
got this
team.
banger that's coming out, and this team is just like helping them finish?
Well,
it
it says
real
they-
quick. We don't even know how long they're going to be doing this for. Maybe it's
It
just
says
for
a
couple
number of
months.
them last month are transferred to Studio EA Motive.
help
Also
them
based in
make
Montreal,
this
work on
banger.
Battlefront 2.
Mhm.
Oh, gross.
And then those remaining at BioWare Montreal will help support BioWare's other games, including new intellectual property codenamed Dylan,
Mhm.
and which we expect to come in
Dylan
announced
could
at
be
E3.
nice.
It could be nice.
Montreal will also continue to patch and support Andromeda's multiplayer.
It's sad.
Yeah, I don't. I just see this as the beginning of the end for
The end already happened. Andromeda was the end.
sure, but it just doesn't look good. Does not look
We're gonna
good.
get another Mass Effect game in probably 5 years, and they'll
Hopefully forget.
start.
Yeah.
It's just Andromeda's forgotten about.
Well, that's what I think they're doing a one-off now to see. They were planning to do another trilogy, and now it's clearly a one-off because it just didn't do well and it wasn't critically received. It was just like, it's Mass Effect. I kind of like it.
So open world
The gameplay
experience.
was good,
Yeah.
but the story was trash.
Mhm.
So in the
Nobody got connected to it.
so
You
they're
can't start
gonna
a trilogy
they
off like
need a
that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
prequel with Shepard back. That will get everybody back. That's
Or
all
they
you.
could just. I mean, I think. I don't know. You can't pinpoint exactly what was wrong. I don't know how to write a fucking story.
I
Otherwise,
mean,
I would
I
deal
think
with you assholes.
animations. You can start there. You
Yeah.
can start there with
But
the
I would have
lack
just
of
felt
enemies.
like, lack of enemies. I just wasn't connected to anybody, and I didn't really feel like I gave a fuck. like I did in other games. Not just your characters, which I think your supporting characters sucked. Your companions compared to the other ones, I had none of these guys would be in my list of favorites. And I also think that just the other species of aliens, I wasn't even worried about. In the other Mass Effects, I was listening to everything and I wanted to hear, what was going on. I just didn't feel it.
You're just crushing through conversations.
Yeah.
I was kind of doing the same thing too, to a very small extent, because one of the Solarians that you meet on the
he's running the ship.
Yeah, he's running the ship. He had a bunch of important information that I was just I don't care. I'm not even gonna do these dialogue.
From the Big Bang Theory.
No, he's not. He's from Silicon Valley. He's not. He's from Silicon Valley. He's not from the Big Bang Theory.
No,
I can't think of that voice
bullshit.
actor. But yeah, I don't know. It just
paying attention.
Yeah, you're just crushing through the shit. I know what you're talking about.
Because
I'm right there with you.
It's good. Like places in the other game, I bring up Omega.
Yep.
And stuff like that. You wanted to hear what was going on. You wanted to even go and even the NPCs you couldn't interact with who were just talking to each other.
Yeah.
You wanted to see what was going on. This had felt like it was more about
it was bare
the
bones.
outside.
It was very bare bones. What they did, there was no bar. There was a bar
real quick,
but it was a little corner bar. It was a dive bar. It wasn't
I recorded a video
club.
of me dancing for a second.
Yeah, and of course you did.
Yeah.
Of course you did.
Sell my Xbox.
But it was just very
Check it
bare bones. The gameplay, like I said, was solid. I enjoyed the
great
gameplay. I
gameplay.
liked the jetpacking.
I liked
that
the
was
car.
fun.
The car was fine.
The car was fun. It just you didn't care about the characters. The animations were shitty.
Paragon
the story.
system.
Gone.
There's Paragon.
No games do that shit anymore. It's frustrating.
Yeah,
It's very frustrating.
I agree.
All right. Well, we can end it there.
Yeah.
Can we?
I don't know. So, point tally. Gary, +4.
That's what I'm talking about. Steve.
Brian, +4.
Oh shit.
Justin, +5.
Yeah, guy.
What did
Wait, hold on.
Anthony get?
Time
Yeah.
out. Anthony didn't win, did he?
Anthony,
It's +3. You gave him 3 points at least.
I don't know.
0.
What you gave
Yeah,
him.
0. Fuck
0.
him. He's out. Dude,
Goose
look at
egg.
me.
Congratulations, Justin. Yay.
I'm the winner.
Happy birthday.
Yeah, it's not collusion, right? Because it's my birthday.
It's
coming up.
I completely forgot you even had a birthday.
Oh, really? Yeah, I don't age at all.
I'm just a vampire.
So yeah, I win. My rant coming in hot next week.
Stay tuned. We're going to take a quick break, come right back with the end of this podcast and all that jazz, so stay tuned.